I've shared with you one fun way to make some gingham paper, and as I've always said, there's always more than one way to do things, and hopefully over time I will collect into each thread a great variety of ways of doing each of the things, so that everybody can pick the way that works best for them. So here's another way to make some gingham papers. And here's one I made real quick, but this way is making a different type of pattern. So I'm going to first turn on the grid. I'm going to zoom in so I can see one area of these blocks. I'm going to make a dig green. Let me grab some of this is my favorites color swatches in here. Some of my favorite colors. You can see they're greens and blues mostly. Let's try something different. Brown for guys. No, hold on. I need to take a moment to pick a new color. I thought that was going to be more more orangish. Let's go with that. And so I have my grid here. I've shared with you in other tutorials the my settings for the grid. This is 1 inch from here to here on the solid lines, and the dotted lines are 1/2 inch, just what I prefer to do. Oh goodness, I'm yawning. I don't sleep enough. Okay, I'm going to grab the rectangular marquee tool, and I'm going to make a selection, and because I'm using the grid, it snaps right to the lines. I'm going to make a selection of this top left corner and grab my paint bucket tool. I've created a new layer to work on. I'm just going to fill that in, Control D to deselect. Now I'm going to go ahead and select this one on the top right. I'm going to actually add to selection because it just makes it a little easier. It takes away a step, because this bottom left one is going to be the same color as this top right one. Now I have a fairly dark color here, and I want these two to be a lighter color, so I'm going to just click on my color picker, and I see my brightness is 75. I think to make that lighter I need to go higher. What's 90 look like? I don't like 90. How about 80? Nope, don't like that either. Actually, that's just too bright for me is what it is. I'm going to cancel. Let's go back in. I see that here, and if I was adding 90, it was making it brighter, but I think what I want to also do is make it less saturated. So let's move our saturation down. That's a little bit better, not quite so high. So I'm utilizing some of my knowledge from some of my other tutorials to select a coordinating color. I'm leaving my hue the same. You can either change the brightness or the saturation to make something that's a little bit lighter, and then I'm going to fill in my selection with that. I like that fairly well. It's a kind of a muted orange. And now I'm going to hit D on my keyboard to make my foreground color and my background color black and white, X to exchange them, and I'm going to select this last box and fill it in with white. Actually, an off-white might be good in here. This is where you can have some fun with this, and this bottom right corner is actually going to act like your background color that we utilized in the other tutorials. And so now I have my pattern. And what's great about using this type of pattern rather than the other type of pattern is that you can use it to fill things, which I'll show you here in a minute. So I'm going to select this pattern, edit, define pattern. I could name it if I want. I'm going to press deselect. I'm going to make this layer invisible. I'm going to turn off my grid and zoom on out. And now let's utilize the pattern by going to the new adjustment layer, pattern, and there it is. Now you would scale it, and that's what's fun about this as opposed to the other one. It scales in a different way, and there it is. I always like to have dark color around the edges, but that's just too big of a pattern, and so I'm going to move it down maybe 7, let's try 60, but looks like 55 maybe. Nope. You play with this till you get there. 56 made a good one for me. So that it's solid all the way around on the colors. And then I have a texture that I want to apply. One that I created on my own. And that I have loaded just for something different, but of course you can utilize your various. That texture actually doesn't look good on there. I'm going to have to come up with something different. I'm going to hit undo. I have to come up with something different to add texture to it. That one actually didn't look good. It looked good on the green, didn't look good on this one. Let me go ahead and show you then how else you can utilize this. See, I'm going to take my rectangular marquee tool, and I'm just going to create something that would be the size of a ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and fill it again with the pattern. Of course, there you can see it's almost like striped, but let's make it smaller. And there you can see I've made a ribbon out of it. I've got, let me duplicate this and turn it on. Whoops. And there, that shows you how you can make it wavy. I think that's in another tutorial around here. And so there you can have a ribbon. And if you don't like how it's filled in, I can just click on this and make it a little bigger or a little smaller until I get it filled in the way I like it. And that's the beauty of using these patterns, so that you can scale, and then I could save that. Of course, I want to add some texture to it first. I think I know why the texture on this did not work. Let's right click and simplify, and now apply that texture that I had before. Of course, I did this all the first time before. I didn't have to double think myself. I get nervous when I record videos. There, now my texture looks a little bit better. And so hopefully this gives you some ideas. If I would go ahead and simplify this and apply my texture to it. Oops. You can see I'm ending up with an interesting looking ribbon there, but you can fill any shape with this texture now. And so I hope this has given you some more ideas, and certainly if you have another way that you know of to do patterns, ginghams, certainly do share.